Friends, this is Asad Khan, Professor of Biotechnology, AMU Aligarh. Today, I would like to share my experience for my last 20 years in the field of research and teaching. And I realized that one should know what kind of research he or she is doing. And the question comes in anybody's mind that how do you measure and gauge the quality of research to be recognized in your field first and in general as a next. So keeping that in view, I thought to share some of my experience and my views. Probably you might agree or you may not agree, it's up to you, but I can share. What you're doing, whatever area of research you are working in, doesn't matter whether it is a basic or applied research. I rate them equally, whether it is a basic research or applied research, because for applied research, you must have a basic background. So you must know exploring the basic thing first and then to move into applied. So very first and foremost thing is that what is the societal impact of your research? Whatever idea and hypothesis you identified or you propose to work, you should realize, you should think what is the societal impact. Does it important for society or not? Number one. Of course, then you have to move into the research to explore it. Then validation of your hypothesis, validation of your research should be done by state-of-the-art facilities. What does I mean the state-of-the-art facilities? For example, if I'm working on antimicrobial resistance or antibiotic resistance, so the current state-of-the-art field is that we can explore the genome is through metagenomics or through NGS, right? So one should have in his or her field should try to use the best of the best techniques available in the system of that to explore. And of course, that need a lot of results, a lot of cross validations and confirmation of the results, and then you have to reach to the hypothesis. And that's how, once you have proved it in different ways, then only high-tier journals can accept your data. And then come to the next step is once you validate it, then you have to look into accepting your research. So whether you go for patent, depending upon nature of your research, or you go for publication. So if you go for the publication, then you have to look into high-tier journals. I prefer the core journals. What I mean the core journals means that, for example, if I'm working on AMR, so my core journal is JACC, AAC, ASM, MBio. These are my core journals are applied microbiology. So suppose somebody is working in the plant system, so plant physiology, plant biochemistry, these are the core journals. So high-tier core journals are important to publish your data. I can publish in any journals of high impact journals, maybe it could be a more than 4 or 5 impact, but to publish in biochemistry for me is really a tough job because biochemistry is my core journal and very high-tier journals in terms of like the impact of the journals in the field, as well as the the quality of the research being published in the biochemistry. It doesn't matter what is the impact of biochemistry. Biochemistry is not more than 3, or it's less than 3 impact. But there are many journals which are having impact of like 6, 5, but doesn't compare with the biochemistry. I love to publish in biochemistry than in any other journals of a high impact. Of course, not the known journal. Of course, Nature, Cell, Science, Trends, and Current series. Of course, they are the top journals, and well, Lancet in case of medical microbiology or medical sciences. These are the top journals. But so you publish high-tier journals, core journals, not run after the impact of the journals. Of course, you can publish in Nature. Well, I mean, that's wonderful. If you publish in Science, wonderful, or any high-tier journal. But just to first identify the impact, and then you publish your study. Doesn't matter how. For example, I will not name of the journal, but I know there are many journals which are very high impact, but nobody knows. If somebody say, I'm publishing XYZ with impact of 6, I say, what is XYZ? But if I say, I publish in bacteriology, oh, well, although it is not 3 impact. If somebody say, I publish in BBRC, 2.6 or 2.9, it's well taken. So this is very important to understand for the researcher, to look into the journals which are high-tier journals, and society, scientific society, understand what the journal is. Third point which I would like to discuss is to measure. Now there's a lot of researchers are running after the citation. Citation is not in your hand or not my hand. Citation will depend on your work area in which you are working and who are working in that area. They will cite you. They may or they may not cite you. But suppose if you have a citation of one paper is 100, say, oh, yeah, this is a very good paper. Doesn't matter. But you have a citation of another paper is like 10. But the quality of the research is wonderful. For example, I can make my own example. I have a paper in genes and development. I think most of you might know it. Genes and development is high tier journals next to Cell and contemporary to any big journals. So, and no matter what the impact is, it's now the impact is I think 12 or 13, but when I published this study it was a 22. And the kind of work we publish in that's like a core transcription biology, where we identified one gene, transcription factors, and we proved that transcription factors and the interaction with another transcription factors in the eukaryotic system through the state-of-the-art technology. I mean, you can name the technology, and we have added that, and that include the yeast to hybrid system, that includes physical interaction, genetic interaction, transcription assays, transcription termination assays, pull down assays, and there are many more. We did Western blotting, PCR, clone the genes and express it, and we do a lot of microbiology and molecular biology in that paper. I mean, you can go through that paper. You can click on PubMed Khan AU and Hamsi M. You find that paper. So this is my postdoc paper. But it has a citation of only 150 or so. Another paper of my lab, which is published in not very high impact journals, not very high perception journal. It's a Biomed journals of Annals in Clinical Microbiology that impact not more than 2.5 or 3. And even the journal itself is a not very high rating journal. But the citation of that paper, you'll be surprised to know it's more than 750 citations. So whenever I've been asked to produce your top 10 papers in last 3 or 4, 5 years for any application, for any awards or any recognitions applications or any progress report, I never put that paper which is having citation of 760 or 750. But I always put a paper which has a citation 150 or 160, but it's a very high impact journal. Impact journals, and it has a perception, plus it has a very high impact work that you can see. Now, if you put both the papers on the table before the committee, interview committee or any committee, expert committee, anybody can judge the kind of work you have done and the kind of training you have obtained. So my friends, I suggest my young colleagues and researchers, please don't run after the citation impact, but just focus on your research, focus on your quality of research, try to chase the best technology, best research technology to date is being present around you, and try to incorporate that and try to produce your data and your hypothesis validated through these technologies, and that is how your work will be recognized across the globe, rather than just looking at citations and impact. Citation will automatically come. It's not in your hand. Don't run after citations. Don't try to manipulate, I would say, to put in a citation like business. And again, I would like to say citation is something which has become a business of various agencies, like many agencies which are trying to highlight the researchers based on the citations for many reasons. So I would not say something against them. I mean, that's their business, but I would say we should more focus on productive research, applied research, impactful research, and if research which can show you as a showcase and which can produce something out of the box and give something to the society, and it has a high societal impact. Remember, Nobel Prize are given based on the impact of the research and the quality of research, not on only citation. I would say inverted comma only citation. Of course, citation is definitely could have high, it may have, and there are many Nobel laureates which are having not very high H index compared to the other scientists which are having very high H index. I can name if you want, but I would not name here. I know many scientists which are having impact citation H index of 146, 150, but they didn't get Nobel Prize. But the scientists recently got a Nobel Prize, has an H index of 80 to 83 to 93 in hepatitis C virus, Nobel Prize this year. So doesn't mean that the citation index will be calculated. It is the impact of the research on the society, and its perpetual impact, rather. It has a long time impact in the society. Matters what your research is and how would you recognize for that, and in terms of like awards, even Nobel Prize. So I think this is a message for my young colleagues and researchers to follow it if you want to do something good for nation and for you. Thank you very much. If you like this video, please share with other colleagues so that everybody can get benefited. Thank you so much.